The second edition of the West Africa U18 baseball tournament is set to kick off here in Lagos, Nigeria. We understand that three other countries are expected to be part of this two-day tournament, which will take place in Lagos. And it is reputed to be the first, let's say the first edition was hosted in last year by Ghana, and now is the turn of Nigeria. Which other nations are participating in this one?
I understand, of course, host country Ghana will be in this one. They are the defending champion. I understand other countries, other African countries like Kenya and the likes of Algeria, Egypt as well, also be in this one. And I think for me, it's going to be an impressive outing this time. Looking at the fact that it will be hosted down here in Nigeria, we should be looking forward to see how to make sure that, of course, we'll get this one done and dusted. Wasn't really that of a rosy outing for us last time in Ghana, but this time I think we should be able to capitalize on this, looking at the fact that Lagos, of course, Nigeria is the one hosting this one, so that home advantage, of course, should be there. Not a very popular sport, talking about baseball down here in Nigeria. I don't think we really invested more or probably capitalized more on baseball development, but I think with what we've seen so far, they should be able to see how to gather momentum to get this one done and dusted. But understand, host country Ghana, who hosted the competition last time, will be coming all out this time to defend the championship they won. But I think since it is hosted down here in the country, we should be able to gather that momentum. In fact, even the fans, to see how they can cheer up the players, to see how they can get something from this one.
Well, African countries expected: Tanzania, South Africa. I think Kenya is coming. And we hope that this will interest people around Lagos. We understand the National Institute of Sports Gymnasium will be venue for this one. Baseball, not a very popular sport here in Nigeria.
Yeah, not a very popular sport. Like I said, we've not really done much in terms of baseball development. No much awareness. In fact, if you go out there to ask some people what is baseball, so many persons might not be able to tell you what it is or how it is being played. So people do not really have much understanding. But I think we could actually try to see how we can also invest in it, since some of our players, have interest, in baseball. I think that's also help to give Nigeria an edge, in competition like this, at any point in time. Not always seeing maybe other countries coming up to dominate us. So for me, I think it's an opportunity for we to see how to create that awareness down here in Nigeria as well.
Well, away from baseball, let's quickly go to basketball. And talking about basketball reminds me that Musa Kida, president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation in Nigeria, has confirmed that Rene Wakama will continue as head coach of the D Tigers following their historic performance at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Musa Kida has no choice but to ensure that Rene Wakama continues on her job as the head coach of the Tigers, the female basketball side of Nigeria. After all, she's the best basketball coach in the world, female basketball coach in the world right now.
Yeah, best female basketball coach in the world. I think for me, Musa Kida had no other option at all than to make her, continue the job as the D Tigers, head coach, because I think she's done enough, to deserve that role, the coaching role. And for me, we should look forward to see how to give her that support this time around. Whatever she needs, of course, should be provided. Just like she has said, that we have to make sure that we, involve or engage ourselves in basketball development. And that's what we need at this point in time. We should talk about grassroots basketball development, and that's what will aid basketball down here in Nigeria. Impressive outing so far for her. We saw her last year, that was 2023, where she was being appointed 3 weeks, to the Afro Basketball Championship, and she was able to lead the girls, of course, to win that particular, making it, the fourth consecutive time the D Tigers won the Afro Basketball Championship as well. And then you talk about outing as well. That was the second outing at the Paris Olympic Games. She was able to take out world number 3, Australia. She was able to get past Canada. It was a difficult one against France, but even the game she was being hosted out against the United States of America, I think she actually showed her prowess, and the girls did their best, to be able to see how to take up things with the United States of America. But understand that best was not good at all, but that was a very, very impressive performance we saw down there. For me, I think she's done so well for herself, and at the moment we don't have any other person to be able to take up that role, just like Rene Wakama has done. I think for me it's a good decision for Musa Kida, saying that she will continue her job as the Tigers coach. For me, I just think at this point in time, we just need to give Rena Wakama all of the support that she needs to be able to take the girls to another level.
Talking about the basketball team of Nigeria that just came back from the Olympic Games, making history as being the first male or female basketball team from Africa getting to the quarterfinal stage of the biggest sports festival in the world, which is the Olympic Games. I think the Musa Kida himself and members of his board should try as much as possible to avoid rancor and internal, wranglings, because this is what cost these girls the World Cup appearance last time, and we hope that all of that is over, so that these girls Wakama do not find it difficult to pull the girls. You remember,
yes,
the captain of this team is not with the team, did not play at the Olympic Games. Of course, you remember the case of the Kumike sisters, who did everything, including sacrificing their personal money to come to Nigeria to play. Yet it didn't work because of the wrangling amongst the. Are we over? Are these the days of wrangling within the leadership of Basketball Federation in Nigeria over?
I think it looks like that, because in the past 2 years now, we've not heard much, about crisis in the Nigerian Basketball Federation. We understand in 2022 we saw the rancor, we saw the fight between Musa Kida and Iguchi Mark, fighting for the position of the president of the Basketball Federation. At the end of the day, a huge thanks to Sunday Dari, who was able to mediate and was able to solve that issue, where Musa Kida, of course, was actually being given the go-ahead to be the president. Remember, there was a factional election, as at that moment, Iguchi Mark has his own election, while Musa Kida has his own election as well. So at the end of the day, for me to have the president was very difficult, but the Minister of Sport, as at then, Sunday Dari, was able to come and put, the house, that Musa Kida was declared, the recognized president of the Basketball Federation. I think from then till now, we haven't really heard much, when it has to do with crisis, in the basketball down here in Nigeria. I think for me, we should look in that direction. We should continue in that same direction. That will be what will help us, of course, to be able to, put our national teams, together. It was so abysmal that the D-Tigers, of course, couldn't qualify, for the Olympics. For the D-Tigers of Nigeria, we saw them, putting up their impressive performance due to the brilliance of Rena Wakama. And I think what we need now to make sure that we build on this success is when the house, of course, is in order. And I believe Musa Kida, the president of the Basketball Federation, he's knowledgeable enough to know how to put this in place. Not only peace, we also need, money and facilities to be developed as well in the country. There should be consistent basketball league in Nigeria, both the male league and the female league. That's what will help us, of course, to be able to give Rena Wakama the needed support, because at some point she also has to come back and look at what we're doing here, see if she can pick 1 or 2 players, of course, to develop. So since the crisis, of course, is a little bit down, I think Musa Kida should be able to tilt his eyes towards developing the league down here. And for me, I think that will help Rena Wakama to continue to build on this success.
Well, do I say proper administration will help the coach and, of course, the athlete, the basketball players themselves to get their job done. We say congratulations to Rene for her feat at the Olympic Games.